walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. From town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
fucked up. Sorry, boys. I forgot to get the camera connected. I guess I have not been streaming enough because a little bit out of practice. One moment. Oh, there's like a whole bunch of camera settings I forgot about. Anyways, you'll just hear my voice, hopefully. Welcome, everybody. Hope everyone having a good week so far. What is it, Wednesday? Touchon Liqueur. Were you vibing on that, my man? I mean, maybe I could just like keep vibing since I don't have the camera set up. I have to like disable a bunch of camera settings because I was using my camera for shooting some video and a time lapse the other day, the last couple of nights, and that makes it not good for streaming. So let me see. Turn off zebra stripes. Whoops, not zebra stripes off. And then we want to turn off peaking. Also off. Okay. Then we need to connect the camera to Wi-Fi. I had a whole 10 minutes to do this. Just messing around, man. So yeah, when Touchon Liqueur, the last time that I was streaming and I didn't recognize who you were, I don't know. I read the names, I can't, and then Touchon Liqueur, I get it. Like Tupac Shakur, but Touchon Liqueur. I'm just not hip enough, is the problem, I think, there. And, okay, connect the camera. Hey, what's up, Shifty R6S? How are you doing? I'm getting my camera set up here. Just one sec. My bad. I thought, I don't know. I have no excuse. I didn't do it. There I am. Hi, there I am. Okay. Yes, Touchon Liqueur. We had a nice camping trip up at Mount Pinos. It was very cold. This was officially the previous Pinos trip was the Mount Pinos trip was the coldest I've ever been like on a camping trip, and this one topped that, or should we say, bottomed that. It was below Celsius Monday night, so that's pretty cold, but luckily no wind chill, and so that kind of sucks. There was a bit of frost forming on equipment, and the second night was warmer. Last night was warmer, but it kind of sucked. It was like there was clouds, but then right as it got dark, the clouds cleared out. Perfect. And it was good for, I don't know, half an hour, and then we started getting little gusts of wind, which, you know, if it's kind of cold and you have wind chill, then it feels really cold. And then we had several good hours, and then, I don't know, from like maybe 1:30 or 2 in the morning until sunrise, it was pretty gusty. So I basically got no good data after then. So, JB, what's up, brother? What did I shoot? Well, I'm going to show you well, you can see there's a little preview down there below. I got three decent data sets. Not quite as much data on a couple of them as I wanted, but three pretty good data sets. The telescope worked pretty good, pretty okay, pretty well. I think pretty much as good as I can ask for, honestly. My new 6-inch or 150 millimeter, the DBS 150. I've got some other issues. We'll talk about. But fortunately, I was able to get some good data for the trip. Yeah, down below M81, M82. Yep, Bode's Galaxy, Bode's and the cigar. Yes. So Shifty is shooting M64 currently. Awesome, M64. Let me see. Do I have an M64? I think I have shot. Let me go to my directory of. Where did my music go? Did I turn it all the way down? Yeah, I feel you that on Jay. I feel you that, Jay. It's definitely. We're gonna change over to the we're gonna change over to the retro synthwave background music too, because that's fun. Yeah, so I think I'm really liking it. Mainly the main problem I have is my tripod / wedge is not sturdy enough. I'm pretty sure my mount, the mount itself, the mount can drive this telescope just fine, no problems at all. It's just I need rigidity. It's a Jello tripod, so not really the tripod. The pure extension and the wedge not stiff enough. Always another project, right? Also having collimation issues, but not because of the telescope, but because of the tools. I got some issues to work out there too. So I was looking for M64 just to refresh my memory. Sounds like one that I've... Nope, I've shot M63. I've got to look that up then. Let's go to Astrobin. And I want to check out... We will explore M64. No? Astrobin search broken? Oh, there we go. Okay. M64. Which one is that? Oh, yeah, the Black Eye Galaxy. Yeah, I have not imaged the Black Eye Galaxy. Pretty small target, I believe. Probably be an okay target for my new the 6-inch scope. Has a pretty narrow field of view. Yeah, that's a cool one. It's kind of, whoops. It's kind of not a lot of detail in there to reveal, I think, unless you have like a really, really long focal length, right? But yeah, so but that's cool. Yeah, like a or more. Yeah, pretty small target. Yeah. Anyways, well then there's a reveal of my bodes. So I stacked these already. These are stacked. I stacked them off stream, mainly because of the stacking software kind of wreaks havoc on the system, and I didn't want to mess up the stream. So pre-stacked Bodes Galaxy M81, M82. This I only got about 3 hours on this one. This was the second night. We were up there for 2 nights. First night was like great all night. It was probably couldn't be a more perfect night. Totally calm. I mean, aside from being extremely cold, totally calm. Very slight breeze maybe, and very good seeing. Very dark. Yeah, it was pretty much a perfect night. The second night, yeah, it was a little bit warmer, but there were these cumulus clouds that would they were forming like just over the tree line, and they would dissipate right overhead. So it was covering maybe 25% of the sky, looking kind of not great. And but I'm like, yeah, they're gonna go away, guys. Cumulus clouds are fueled by the sun, so as soon as the sun goes away, and sure enough, as soon as it gets to like astro dark, they're completely gone. Clouds gone. Okay, clouds no problem. And then it was good for, I don't know, half an hour or an hour. But then we started getting a bit of gusty wind. And because my mount is just not rigid enough, like any slight breeze will make wobbly stars and not very good images. So it's kind of bad, but then it got good again. Then it was calm for several hours, and then I don't know, maybe probably like 2 in the morning, it just started to be like a constant, maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour wind. Maybe not that much, but definitely enough that there was no more usable data after that. So I did manage like 3.5 hours on M81, M82, and because we're in like Bortle 2, I mean, this is like really nice data. There is just, I'm looking forward to processing. There's a lot of detail in here that, with some processing we should be able to reveal. Of course, it makes me want to add, 10 more hours to this, right? So, and then the cigar over here, yeah, there's a lot of detail in these faint HA filaments. And this one, pretty much the galaxy images in general, you can shoot HA data from the light pollution. So the plan will be to shoot with my dual narrowband filter from home and then combine the HA data, which is a little bit tricky process. It's not ideal because I don't have a mono cam, but it does work. I have played with it. It does work. The process needs some tweaking and refinement and some work to the workflow to get it, kind of ideal. But it does work, and so that'll make these images look, even more nice. I'm not, there's a bit of a gradient here, which I would expect from the light, because this was setting. So I imaged this until it was about 30 degrees on the horizon. It's a bit of a light dome, so I would expect to see some gradient there. Scott by Scott, yes, I did survive. Yep, no bear attacks. I maybe it's because of the gradient here, but I'm not seeing much sign of the IFN in here. Maybe super faint in here, but there's IFN in this region, and it just may need a lot more integration time, even from the dark sky, to bring that out. So that's M81, M82. That'll be a fun one to play with. The other one is the Pinwheel Galaxy, M101. Check this out. This one, I got a little over 5 hours, I think, on this one. There's some really great detail in here. Once this is color calibrated, that will really stand out. And I mean, there's like so many background galaxies, little background galaxies here. And this was, oh, by the way, this was all 2 minute exposures. And the Bode's Galaxy M81, M82 was a combination of 2 and 3 minute exposures. I was doing 3 minute exposures and they were working pretty good, but then when the wind started to pick up, I decided to switch to 2 minute exposures to hopefully have a better chance of not throwing away as many. So 2 minute exposures, Pinwheel Galaxy. So this will be a fun one to process. And this one has some interesting issues we'll discuss when we get there. But the first one I want to process is the Beehive cluster, M44. This was the first thing I shot with the GSO Newtonian, and the idea was to compare GSO versus my version. And so not really an apples to apples comparison, because this was shot from the dark sky and not a Bortle, from Bortle 2, not Bortle 9. And a higher altitude. So, but we can look at things like the star shapes and the diffraction pattern, and that's kind of what we're looking at is, the diffraction spikes and the additional diffraction in there. So, yes, the weighted batch pre-process WBPP script handles that. So, and even combining the correct dark frames. So I had a mix of 2 minute and 3 minute exposures. So you just load in your 2 minute and 3 minute dark frames, and it knows to combine the 2 minute dark frames with the 2 minute exposures and the 3 minute dark frames with the 3 minute exposures. And so it seems to do a pretty good job with that. So, all right, let's get her going here. This is the Beehive cluster. Nice star colors in here. So let's see, we'll try, there is a gradient. We will try spectrophotometric flux calibration. I think there's no data for this part of this sky. I think I tried this on this image before, but we'll try. I like to try these tools. And oh, it looks like, are we good? It's running, it's trying. It must be the synthwave music that's getting it going. Okay, there we go. All right, we got a flux calibration. All right, now we will try the multi-scale gradient correction tool and just see if this can do anything. Nope, okay, it can't. Yeah, so, if you get this error with the multi-scale gradient correction tool, error, no reference data found, filter R. It, from what I understand, it means that the database doesn't have this part of the sky yet, so we can't use that tool. So we will just use Graxpert. So that's kind of my go-to Graxpert. The gradient seems very, very consistent, very smooth, sort of linear transitions. So I like to run Graxpert with the smoothing really high. So we'll do that. I think I'm pleased with the performance of the telescope. It's not quite a significant improvement, I don't think, over the GSO Newtonian. Okay, so gradient removed. I think that looks. Does it look good, or is it kind of? I guess that's okay. Maybe there's a bit of a gradient there still. Looks kind of reddish over here and kind of greenish over here. I don't know. It's hard to. I really need it to be. I got. Let me close my blinds. Actually, I need it to be like to get the background looking right. You need to like a. You can't have reflections and glare on your computer monitor. All right, so we have to live in a world of darkness when we're doing astrophoto processing. It is hard to. Let me try undo that, and let me try a gradient with less smoothing. Turn the smoothing way down. See what we get. Okay, I don't know if we see much difference. So, okay, just try a couple of things, you know. And look pretty good. Look at this galaxy back here. But we kind of need to compare with the how many galaxies we see versus the the data that I shot from home, right? All right, spectrophotometric color calibration now, and we will select the appropriate colors, and we need a background preview, something like that that doesn't include stars. And I know JB was having background issues with processing galaxies, and I think I noticed that he went back and forth with Mazif in the Discord, and so I kind of have some strategy for working around that too. Mazif's solution's probably more proper, but yeah. Anyways, so this is a stack of this is about an hour of 60-second exposures. Pretty brilliant star color, blues and golds in here. That's what makes this open cluster kind of nice. Is this is different color temperature of the stars, and there's some background galaxy detail to be seen. Let's run Blur Exterminator. Taking a little while. There we go. Once Blur Exterminated. Wow, how much sharper that looks, right? So maybe I kind of don't like. It kind of might make these sort of the secondary diffraction in between the main diffraction spikes. These little rays look kind of less. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. The main diffraction spikes look pretty nice. I guess I'm pretty happy with that. You can see we get like a secondary halo here, and I wonder if that could be from the filter I'm using. I'm using a UV IR filter, and maybe it's not a very good quality filter. In fact, I know it's a cheap filter, so maybe I need a better filter, and that would maybe help with these sort of halos. But overall, I think I'm pretty, satisfied with how that looks, and so yeah, let's kill that, and then. So normally I would subtract the stars, but since this is just a star image, I don't think I need to do that. Really, just processing stars. So. Next is denoising, and my denoising needs some strategy. I'm gonna make like a preview. Let's see. Maybe we'll go here so we include some bright stars. Yeah, oh yeah. It's the even cheaper brand. It's the like Astrospheric or something like that. Which is probably the same thing as SV Bony. So, yeah, I don't know. But I should probably look into getting one now because you're not going to be able to get that stuff pretty soon if you already can. Okay, so my denoising needs a bit of work because I now have a cooled camera and I'm calibrating dark frames. It's a bit of a different, bit of different needs here. So, yeah, in the past, what I've done is just cranked up the denoise to like 0.8 or 0.9 in 2 iterations. This is the new AI version 3 of Noise Exterminator. And I think it wasn't quite killing the noise as much as I liked. So that actually was pretty darn good. But it actually also... Did that make the diffraction spike wavy? I don't know if you can see that on the stream, but the diffraction spike looks like it's wavy. Whoops. Preview. Yeah, so got to do Control-Shift-Z when you're in preview mode. No, the diffraction spike was already wavy. Okay. You just see it a lot better because it removed the noise. So the color really kind of stands out. So yeah, there's still a bit of a texture. I mean, you can definitely see this bit of graininess. So it's like it's not finding that. So it's not removing that. I don't know if that's high frequency or low frequency. We can check the frequency separation checkbox, and then we can adjust those. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different things to play with. I think what I'll do first is I'm just going to try to crank the iterations up to 5, and try the simplest solution first before we do something more complicated. Okay, I don't know that made any difference. It definitely didn't make a difference to this sort of background. I think that's high frequency because it's like a bunch of little individual pixels with noise, right? So I think that's not what we want. So I think what we want to do is let's go frequency separation, and maybe I want to change the high/low frequency scale. Let's see this. The pixel scale that defines the transition between low and high frequency regimes. So right now it's set to 5. Let's bring that all the way down to 0.5 and see what happens. Because right now high frequency and low frequency are both set to 0.9, so it's a lot of denoising for both. And yeah, I don't think that made a difference. So let's try increasing it. It was at 5. I'll put it at like 11. Also doesn't seem to, nothing seems to be making a difference there. Okay, I'm gonna reset. And let's see, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna turn off denoise low frequency. So we're just gonna denoise high frequency at 0.9 to see what effect that has. So I want to know if what I'm trying to attack is high or low frequency. I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, so that's what that looks like. Let's try the opposite. Just denoise the low frequency. Yeah, okay, so most of this noise is high frequency. When I did denoise low frequency, it made very little difference, right? So, okay, I think I can... I'm gonna actually delete this preview now because I got lost if I had which version I had on there. I'll make a new preview. And, okay, so... I'm going to turn off the low frequency and then turn off the low frequency and just crank the high frequency denoising and see if we can do better. That actually, I think, did do what I want to do. So now it looks really blotchy, which is I'm pretty sure that's the high frequency. So I'm going to do high frequency 1, low frequency 0.8. I think that's getting there, and there's still an ugly blotchiness to it. And what if I just put them both at 1? This leaves an interesting, ugly patch. Most of the background's really good, but it leaves some, like, patches. Yeah, look at the detail in this galaxy is pretty great for being how small it is. Yeah, okay, so... maybe now we just need to play with the scale. Let's turn the scale all the way down. Trying to get this sort of blocky pattern to go away. Scale, turning the scale way down didn't seem to make a difference. Let's turn the scale way up. Also not making a difference. All right, so... yeah, turning these up, maybe we need more or less iterations. Tricky, I don't want to overdo it, right? Oh, my camera froze. All right, okay, iterations, more iterations didn't change that. And my camera is frozen. Hello? Let me just restart the camera thing. And is that gonna work? Nope. Okay. Got to reconnect the camera, it looks like. When in doubt, turn it off and on again. Connected. Load the thing up here. Hit live view, and there it goes. Okay. Back in business. Okay, let me just try one iteration. Yeah, still the same. It's not really, it's missing. I mean, most of it's looking brilliant, but it just leaves these kind of pixelated, blocky patches. That's strange. Let's try, I'm gonna just try AI version, the old one. The version 2 AI. And maybe that will just, it's simpler, it's just one slider. See if that does a better job here. Not nearly as good of a job. Interesting. Turn the detail or the denoise all the way up to 1.0 on the old version. This leaves like even more blotchy patches. Okay. We can also do intensity and color separations. Mithrites Astro, thank you for the sub. 4 months. He must be home. Hopefully the traffic was not too bad getting home. Welcome in. Maybe it's the data. Yeah, maybe it's the data. Okay, so that was the just denoising the color, and that did a good job. Let's just denoise the intensity. What if you do the intensity and the color separate? Like 2 separate operations. It was rough that you made it. That sucks, dude. Yeah, I got pretty lucky on the traffic driving home. Well, it was the time of day. That was the earliest I've ever gotten up and left from there. And I'm glad that I left the time I did, so it was better, smoother sailing. Well, I think I'm just gonna kind of go with just this 0.9. Yeah, not really able to get much better, I think, than that. Yeah, I gotta do some more research, I think. But one thing that I'm noticing is the diffraction spikes end up looking wavy. And I don't know if that's the I don't think that's the denoising. So that must be the sharpening. So we need to back up a step. And yeah, they don't. Let's see, undo the. Yeah, so Blur Exterminator is making the diffraction spikes look wavy. So why is Blur Exterminator doing that? What if I check correct only? Oh, I should have made a preview so it would go quicker. Worth the trip. Yeah, it was a good trip. It was definitely a good trip. Yeah. I mean, I got good data. I got fun stuff to play with, so. And it was a great hanging out with the boys, so. AI hallucinations. What's up, Ninja Jalopy? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Interesting colors on the spikes indeed. Yeah, let's see. Undo. First time chatter, by the way, too. What's up, Ninja Jalopy? Oh, that should do a shout out. Ninja Jalopy, which I've jumped on his stream a couple of times, but probably not enough. I think Ninja Jalopy does some programming type stuff streams. Is that right? I think I dropped in your stream and was hanging out for a bit, and I saw a code, and I panicked, and I collapsed on the floor, and my cat woke me up. But maybe not. Oh yeah, right on. Cool, man. Yeah, we'll hang out on Ninja Galapi's stream more often. Okay, so we definitely don't want. We definitely. Oh yeah, because correct only doesn't sharpen stars. We want to sharpen stars. But how do we get to sharpen stars without making those diffraction spikes look wavy? Interesting. Well. Oh, cool. Right on. Blender 3D modeling. Yeah, that's the type of modeling that I've never done. You know, I'm like all CAD modeling. So the Blender style of 3D modeling is not working with meshes and triangles and things. It's not something that I have really any skills with. But yeah, I think I can see the effect that, yeah. You wish you knew CAD stuff. Yeah, I mean, CAD's great. And it's funny. It's probably like CAD seems super intuitive to me because that's what I know. But like, it's probably the opposite for you, right? So we're kind of we're opposites in that way, probably. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. So this was shot with the 150, and let's see. Do I have a picture of that? Well, I think we were talking on Nerduino's stream. Took a second for the brain, and we were looking at the 114 millimeter. Yeah, so this is the big brother. This is the 150, so a 6-inch, and that's what the data I'm processing now is from the bigger scope. A bit more challenging to, not really more challenging to put together, but more challenging to guide. It's bigger and heavier, so this one is 600 millimeter focal length, but I do have a 0.95 reducer coma corrector in there, so it's like 570. So yeah, that's the design for this is not officially released yet. I may, kind of need to tweak some things. So yeah, I think this warrants a Google search. Why Blur Exterminator making my diffraction spikes wavy? My IFF. All right, let's see. Okay, this guy was just not in focus. Any plans for an 8-inch version? I think probably not, because curly diffraction spikes from Batinoff mass. Interesting. No one seems to have a similar issue. Oh, ooh, look at that. That's interesting. Wow. So yeah, an 8-inch version. I think probably not. I think the 6-inch version is the max of what's really practical to 3D print. just in terms of the mass of the plastic used and you know how big printers tend to be, the build volume of the printers. You know, if you have to have a 350 millimeter bed to fit the thing to print it, you know, I think that's probably not really great because that's pretty limiting design. Not very many people, you know, are going to have printers that can fit that, or at least fewer than if, you know, a little bit smaller. But yeah, well, then it's going to be crazy expensive, right? So if you try to send those out, so yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, an 8-inch mirror is going to need probably at least a 10-inch diameter tube. Maybe a little bit larger depending. So you know, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I think it's just a lot of plastic to print. And there's much better ways of making, you know, large diameter tubes. Although if the only way you have to make something is with a 3D printer, then yeah, it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? So I kind of, I mean, not necessarily myth. You know, the Daub that I built is certainly not designed for the masses. But I think I'm trying to be more that way now, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. That makes it tricky, huh? Yeah. Well, hopefully the move goes well. Yeah, okay, so when you're zoomed out, I mean, so this is just, that was, you know, denoise 0.9, just default settings for noise exterminator, blur exterminator. If I zoom in here, it makes the diffraction spikes look wavy. Yeah, I guess I need to maybe do some research and play with that, but overall the background is pretty clean, so. Yeah, and C8s are gonna, you know, Cassegrains or Schmidt Cassegrains are just generally not that great for imaging. So if that's what you're trying to do, aside from maybe planetary, right? So, yeah, okay, well, we'll go with these settings. And for the stretch, I'm just gonna use, let's see, let's try SETI Astro's star stretch on it. And I'll bring that down to like 4, 5. Usually I go like 4.5. And let's just see what that does for me. So maybe that's a good kind of place to start. I actually really like I think I like the way the stars are stretched there, but there is some background galaxies I kind of miss out on here. Let's bring up the histogram transformation, and definitely want to darken the background a bit more. Yeah, and then maybe bring, yeah, maybe just totally eyeballing it here. And yeah, maybe that's good. Should we put some saturation? I don't like to oversaturate it, but where did the spikes go? They're still there. They may just be a little bit harder to see on the stream. They're fainter now. The background is really clean. I really like the way this background is looking. That's what you get with the Bortle 2 skies. I think that looks pretty clean. It's hard to, I really need it to be darker in here. Maybe that background should be a bit darker. It's hard to tell. We can play with curves a bit. I mean, you don't want to go 100% black on the background. The background should have some brightness to it. And maybe just a little bit of saturation. Something like that. I think that's probably what we want. All right, so now let's compare to my processing is not going to be the same, but here is so the left here is the stock GSO Newtonian, and on the right is my version, and a bit different. The background's darker here. Gosh, it's so much the background here is so much cleaner, and there's more stars. Yeah, that's the difference that the dark skies make. But we really are concerned with the star shapes, right? So, you know, like how do those diffraction spikes look? And it's a little bit, it's because the processing's not, you know, 1-to-1. It's not really the fairest of comparison. Significantly less noise in the one on the right because that's from the dark sky. The main diffraction spikes are definitely improved. I knew that. You see, I have like a double diffraction spike thing going on. That's with the stock GSO Newtonian. I knew it was going to be like that because they, out of the box, they arrived loose, and I had to adjust them, or I had to tighten them, which meant they weren't straight. But otherwise, I don't think I really see. I mean, maybe a bit of improvement in the additional diffraction spikes. I mean, you guys let me know what you think. You know, left or right. And the one on the right is definitely better, but you know, don't look at the noise, right? You want to look at the shape of the stars and the diffraction pattern coming out of there. On this blue one here, there's definitely some defined lines than on the right. Yeah, so the main diffraction spikes are definitely going to be better, and I knew that. That's because the one on the left, the secondary spider vanes were twisted a bit, and you know, out of the box it shouldn't be like that, but the design on those is such that that can happen. They can get twisted. So, but it's possible to get those, you know, nice and straight. So if you're not familiar with where we're coming from, Ninja Galapi, what I did was I purchased a GSO 6-inch f4 Newtonian that you see here, and so they sell these, and these have yeah, they sell these and they're pretty good. They're pretty good value, but they have some limitations. And so what we're comparing is the stock GSO Newtonian versus Dave's version. So I literally just pulled the optics out of the GSO one. So it's the exact same mirrors, and you know, and put it in mine. And mine has a lot of features which should make it better. But aside from the main diffraction spikes, I'm not really seeing. Maybe it's a little bit better. Left has less halo on the stars. I think that is. I think that's a function of the light pollution. Yeah, much less halo. Here, you can clearly see a defined ring on the right here. Versus here, it kind of just fans out and dissipates. So I think that's a less light pollution artifact, and that the filter is causing that halo. It's a cheap UV IR filter. And yeah, maybe it's a poor quality filter. Over here, now on these stars, we see some asymmetric, very asymmetric diffraction going on. So that could be a collimation issue. But it's kind of odd that I only see it on this left side. Or maybe sensor tilt. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of varies. On these stars on the right over here, we kind of see it on the bottom, which I also saw on this one. Do you see it mirrored on the right? No, I don't think so. It's not mirrored. Yeah, so you see the diffractions on the left side of the star here. Left side of the image, left side of the star. But right side of the image, it's like on the bottom side of the star. Too close of back focus. Interesting. That could be. Let me revert. Let me make a clone of that and revert this back to the. Let me see. Let me revert this back to the. Let's see. Before Blur Exterminator. I have not. So I wonder if it would be the same for reflectors. So if we look at the corners, bottom left corner, a little bit of oval shaped stars there. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Please do. Oh, there's our chatbot. RIP OPT. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the too close graphic. Okay. Yeah, too far away. So, okay, so too close graphic. If the back focus is too close, then this looks like coma. Yeah, everything zooms away from the center of the frame, which is a similar effect of coma. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So this is pre-Blur Exterminator, right? And so I don't think that's what we're seeing. Somewhere PixInsight gives you the, is it like aberration inspector or something? Let's see. Do we see that with the star spikes? So, okay, on the left you do the sort of extra diffraction is pointing to the left, and on the bottom it's pointing down, but I don't see that on the right. And maybe I see it on the top. It's worth investigating. It's worth investigating. Yeah, top right you do? Okay, there is one up here, yes. Yep, up there, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's worth a try. I'm gonna go measure it real quick. It's over here. I'm pretty sure I had it right. I did change it, actually. I did change the spacers I had on there, and I mean, maybe I missed a millimeter there somewhere. All right, okay. 17 and a half plus 21. 17 and a half plus 21, 38 and a half. Pro. And I think it's 17 and a half from the camera flange to the sensor on the Uranus C Pro. Well, let's double check. This is my camera, so you find somewhere down here. Yeah, 17 and a half. Yeah, back focus 17 and a half. So plus 17 and a half, 56. So 56 millimeters is supposed to be the back focus distance of the coma corrector I'm using. But from what I understand, they do tend to have like a sweet spot. So maybe I need to add a little bit of back focus distance. Maybe I need a shim. It's worth a try. Thank you for the suggestion. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to try it for I don't know how long. Indeed, yeah. It's definitely worth trying. It's easy to do. You can just 3D print shims. It'd be, accurate enough, should be. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to have weather for trying that for some time now. Yeah, I will look into that. So, but. And kill the auto stretch. But despite that, I think I'm in a good good place. Does filter add back focus distance? So we've had discussion on that in the it does in the Discord. And I don't know, it's somewhere between 2/3 of a millimeter and a millimeter. I think bottom line. Depends on how thick the filter is. Filter thickness divided by 3. So that would then indicate, that I'm like a millimeter too close back focus. Because I did not account for the filter adding distance to the back focus. So I haven't done that with any of my other imaging. And maybe I need to. Let's take a look at a shot from the 114 millimeter scope. I don't know if we'll be able to see. So this is Rosette Nebula with that. This is with the 114 millimeter scope, which would have the same back focus distance situation. And I think there's just not really bright enough stars in here to see that kind of effect. Yeah. This is one of my favorite images that I got though, so I like to bring that one up. Do we have one that has like a good star field? I don't know. Yeah, be pretty inconclusive. Yeah, hard to tell. Hard to tell. But I'm pleased with the way the telescope's working overall. But we always want to make improvements. So, but I do just love the difference in how smooth the background is from the dark sky to the light sky. So, yeah, lots of galaxies in here. Fun stuff. All right, let me save this one. It's yet another M44 shot. And let's see, how much time did I have on that? M44. Pinos, whoops, not that one. $69. So an hour and 9 minutes. Okay, that one's fun. Let's move on and let's get to some more exciting stuff. M101. This one, the kind of a lot of noise in the background. Not too thrilled with that. This one, I have double diffraction spikes on some of these brighter stars. This one, you see they kind of double out, and then this one it's very clear. So that's pretty disappointing. That would seem to indicate that the spider veins are twisted. And I don't know why that would be unless it's just not stiff enough and it shifted a little bit, because M44 shot this one first and then it would have slewed to M101. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing to see. I don't know if we can see that in the individual subs. We can look. Yeah, that would be that bright star up there. Yeah, it's just not enough, not bright enough to really, I think, to tell. Or I wonder, okay, so it did meridian flip. So I wonder if I could probably try stacking the ones pre-meridian flip independently of the ones post-meridian flip. So I'm wondering if it's like an alignment issue from the meridian flip. Well, we're gonna work with it because that's what we have here. So, yeah, but there's gonna be some really nice detail in here. I think this was around a little over 5 hours. 160 times 2 divided by 60. 5 hours in a third of an hour. 5 hours and 20 minutes. So that's pretty good for one night. I can't wait to shoot HA data from here and add that in there. So I'll do a spectrophotometric flux calibration and then we'll try the multi-scale gradient tool, but we may not have sky data on that part of the sky yet. And if that fails, then we will just use Graxpert. Multi-scale gradient tool. Let's see what this says. Yeah, it failed. Okay, let's process scripts toolbox Graxpert. And we'll do a bit more smoothing. Hit the check on that, and then I'm gonna go get a caffeine drink. Gradient removed. I think that looks pretty good. Graxpert usually does Like, great. Good job, great job, good enough job. Okay, exported. Good enough job, probably for my taste. A lot of stars in this area. Grab that, and we'll use spectrophotometric color calibration tool to color calibrate. And we will grab preview and apply that. Now it should look like the correct colors. Very good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks really nice, actually. I'm pretty pleased with that. God, there's just so much detail in the HA here. That's going to be really fun to calibrate that in. Okay, now we blur exterminator. And I'm going to turn sharpen non-stellar up to 0.85. We want to sharpen the galaxy a bit. That might be a bit much, so we might need to back that off. Oh my gosh, that thing just like boom when blur exterminator. Yeah, maybe it's a bit much. The LTX Designs, what's up? Glad to have you here. Yeah, I haven't streamed much lately. I haven't had data. We've had rainy weather and been busy with other stuff. So welcome. So yeah, I don't think I really like what this did. This is kind of bad processing. It's like AI hallucination kind of stuff too, or just overly sharpened. So I'm gonna bring sharpened non-stellar down to like 0.7 and try that again. Oh, cool. Oh, cool, right on. He works for Perusa? That's great. Okay, that I think is a much better result. Definitely brings that stuff out. Maybe it's still a bit much. I don't know, when it's zoomed out, it looks really good. When you zoom in, yeah, I think it's still a little bit much. I'm gonna bring that down to 0.6. And yeah, we'll try a 0.6 on the sharpened non-stellar and see what that looks like. I appreciate you spreading the word. Cool, Ninja. Glad to have you here. Yeah. Designbydave.net. Oh, or did I do a printables link? I didn't. Let me, do I have my website? Web. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Exclamation point website. Yeah. Designbydave.net. And files are there, but also on my printables. Let me get the link. Let me get to the link to that. The printables is probably more up to date. I try to keep both of those things, you know, synced. But you know how that goes. I would favor the printables because I think that's a better resource. Nobody goes to my website. Or maybe they do, and I don't know because I don't have any analytics on there, so I kind of have no idea. But all right, I think that's what we want Yeah, sharpen non-stellar 0.6. Astrotaka, what's up? No. 114 is 4.5 inches. Yeah. We're trying to be metric. We're trying to be metric centric, metric appropriate around here. Metrosexual, metric sexual. So yeah. For some reason, like, why do we use focal length in millimeters, but aperture in inches? What? Correct. The 150 is not up there yet. Yeah, I've not officially released the files for that because it's kind of still a work in progress, and mainly I haven't had time to get it out. I have had no. Words are hard. Sometimes word mouth noise make blah blah blah. Up until those last 2 nights, I haven't had time to like prove the 150, and I'm still seeing maybe some issues with it. So, yeah. Yeah, focal length in inches seems crazy, but at least that would be consistent. If I have a 12-inch mirror and a 48-inch focal length like that, at least the units are consistent. Why do I say I have a 6-inch, 600 millimeter focal length telescope? Like that's really dumb. So what we should do is just dump anything that's not metric system because it's so much more superior. It's 150 millimeters. So, anyways, cheers. I think that's good sharpening there. It's not overly sharpened. We were having this discussion either last night or the night before in the dark, chatting with the boys about processing. And what was the phrase that Dan used? He said something along the lines of, you don't want to be able to see the processing. So if you look at details and you can see that it's been sharpened, then that's no good, right? So let me just demonstrate that. So if I do sharpen non-stellar at 0.8, that's where I was at before. I'll run that. With the refractor's aperture is in millimeters. Yeah, you're right, Taka. Right, exactly. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. So this is sharpen non-stellar value 0.8 blur exterminator, and when I don't know how well this will show up on the stream, but I can clearly see that it's hard to describe. It's the kind of thing that's like, it's hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. Like this, it looks unnatural, and that's weird to say too, because what does that mean, right? Natural. And what it means is you can tell it looks like the artifacts of too much sharpening, where this thing kind of looks, I don't know, looks kind of veiny, sort of weird. It's definitely not right. It's definitely too much. Yeah, especially here I can see it. It looks, when I zoom way out, maybe it looks good, but then I zoom in a little bit, and then it looks, it looks bad. So at 0.6 was the value that I liked. So generally in your processing, you do sharpening and things, kind of find that point to where it looks like too much, and then back it off 5%, 10%. Oh, okay. Did you post that in the images, Jay, or was that in general? A lot of images from the boys here. We should have a oh yeah. Here we go. We can pick on him a little bit. Yeah. This one I think he posted in images. But yeah, see the same, very much the same kind of pattern in here. This is definitely too much on the sharpening. It looks, it's so hard to describe why that doesn't look good, but I don't know. You can just kind of tell. Yeah, the background. Yeah. So you guys went back and forth, and I'm sure Mazif had the right things, but I'll play with the backgrounds here too, and I definitely can see kind of some of the issues you were maybe having and how I would address that. So for denoising, Taka, I use Noise Exterminator. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is good. Good compromise. And now we will remove the stars. Oh, and yeah, this is a little bit tricky too. Yeah. Tell the sharpening thing to the JWST team. Oh, do you have some examples of JWST images you think are overly sharpened? I don't think I've seen anything like that, but I would be curious if, yeah, you have some thoughts on that. So, one thing with like Star Exterminator and Galaxies, yeah, so it's pulled out. This gets tricky because it's pulled out a bunch of stuff from the core that's not really stars. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's doing some kind of weird. Yeah, yeah, it pulls out in here. So there's a couple things we can play with. So using Star Exterminator. First thing we can try unchecking large overlap, and we'll try it again. Oh, you know what? I think that helped. Yeah, so that pulled out less. That's the large overlap checkbox turned off in Star Exterminator. But there's another thing that happens. Oh, did I go too far? Wait, what the heck? Oh, hold on. I got lost here. I think I didn't even... Whoops, I didn't... I must have undid my Blur Exterminator. Yep, okay. Whoops, that's weird. I must have undid that and forgot to redo it. Okay, Blur Exterminator. Yeah, you're right, Taka. The problem with StarNet 2 is it can conflict with Blur Exterminator. They both use the NVIDIA, what do they call it? The NVIDIA library for using the tensor cores on the GPU. And it's probably been updated now, and it's not a problem, but when I updated PixInsight a few months ago, I couldn't get Blur Exterminator and StarNet 2 to both work at the same time. So I ended up buying Star Exterminator so I would have that. By now it probably would work. So yeah, we could maybe give it a try, but if I install that and it breaks Blur Exterminator, then it's a problem. So it's kind of a weird thing. So this is a tricky thing with Blur Exterminator and Galaxies is Blur Exterminator sharpening like these bright areas of HA signal, like right here in this spiral arm, and it thinking that's a star. And so now Star Exterminator, like these are all these little pinkish blobs right here, those are all, you know, hydrogen alpha emission nebula in the spiral arm of the galaxy. And because Blur Exterminator sharpens it, now Star Exterminator might think that those are stars and subtract them. And we don't want it to do that. So this gets tricky. Like all this stuff over here, like is this, yeah, see that all got sharpened? So, yeah, so we're gonna have to play around. And I actually ended up making a mask. Why not do Blur X after Star X? I guess we can do that, huh? Yeah. I don't know. I've always done it before. And I guess you just have to run Blur X on the stars separately. So, yeah, I guess we'll try that. So, okay, we'll try that strategy then. Yeah, and separate paths. That's probably smarter to do anyways. I don't know why. That's always the workflow that I've always used. So, I started doing that because I think with maybe it was because I was using StarNet first, and I think I found that with StarNet 2, I really needed to use Blur X to sharpen the stars so it would identify and subtract them. I think that may be why I was doing that, because I found it better. It was better at identifying stars if I sharpened them first. Yeah, you're right, Taga. Yeah. So this did remove, you know, some pink bits. I don't know if those are stars or not, or if those are, you know, these like HA regions. So we can like undo here, and it did remove some bits that are there. Yeah. This one is going to be tricky. Yeah, like in here. Yeah, see, it totally just pulled out. It thinks this is a star. I mean, it's pretty star-like. Maybe it is a foreground star. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's another thing we can try. We can try different AI. So, I think by default you go select AI on here, and I think by default it's using the light version. So I'm gonna use not the light version. Oh, maybe it was using that. No, I think it wasn't. Okay, so I'll try it on not the light version. So it might take longer, I think, maybe now. See if this does a better job. In the past, I've had to manually draw a mask, and so we may do that. Yeah, so this is still pulling out little bits of red bits, I think, that we don't want it to. That might have made it worse, actually. Yeah, it definitely pulled out some stuff I don't think I wanted it to. Let's see. We'll try the light, no noise version. Let's see if Google has any answers. Oh shit, I clicked off of that. Okay, wait, still going. Yeah, I think it's still doing the same thing. Let's see. Star. Star Exterminator removing bits of HA in galaxies. What does Google say? Yeah. So I'm pretty spoiled, Taka. I have the RTX 4090, and yeah, these things just blast through that. Nobody really seemed to be talking about this issue. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do instead? I'm gonna use SETI Astro's script, and I'm gonna manually draw masks. SETI Astro's Fame script. This allows you to hand draw masks, and so this is tedious. Auto STF. There's a STF button here, and the color balance isn't the same. But that's okay. I'll zoom in, and let's see. We can use a we'll use freehand shape lasso tool and shift click to draw a shape. So I'm just going to draw. What I don't want it to remove are the HA sections, so I'm going to shift click and I'll draw, and things that look like stars, I'm going to go around them. Okay, there, and then the blur amount, I'll bring that down to like 4. And I think I can just keep drawing. So I'm gonna protect everything that looks like, that looks like HA signal, that I don't want it to remove. One of the reasons I don't want it to remove these is because when I go to process the stars, it'll change the size and color and shape of these red HA regions, and we don't want it to do that. All right, I don't think there's really any. There's little red dots in there, but I don't think those are stars I want it to remove. That's alright, probably alright. I don't want it going anywhere near any of this stuff. Kind of everything, kind of just are like circling the spiral arms here. Maybe there. Thanks for being here, Shifty. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day. That might have been some actual stars in there that it was kind of okay to look at. Don't go there. These are like some little bits that might think are stars. Let's see, out here, that all looks probably okay. This section in here, I don't want it to remove any of that. Let's see. Don't go near that stuff. Let's see, let's protect this too. Maybe another one around here. All right, I think we'll go with that. Okay, execute. And yeah. So we want this pretty hard mask. And I'll pop that on there and invert it. So now Star Exterminator is going to ignore that area. And we'll run it. Select AI, do the full version, run that. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and let's toggle the mask off. And I think that's a much better result. It may still have pulled out a little bit of stuff from there, but I think that's a much more reasonable result. And I think what ultimately makes PixInsight so powerful is the scripting. Because so many of these tools that I'm using are scripts, either free scripts from SETI Astro, like this mask creation tool, or I'm actually gonna not kill that in case I need it again, or other plugins like Blur Exterminator, Star Exterminator, right? Let's see. We're just gonna call that S for stars. We'll be back to that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And we might need that mask again later, so I'll save that in case we do. And now we'll run Blur Exterminator like we were talking about. We're gonna need to Blur Exterminate the stars too, separately. Oh, now this is an interesting result. Blur Exterminator is hallucinating now. Without the stars, Blur Exterminator is thinking, oh, these are stars. That's why I don't Blur Exterminate before I... Interesting. Okay. Undo that. You ran it with Sharpen Stellar in there too. Oh. Maybe turn off Sharpen Stars, you mean? Yeah, you may be right. Oh crap, now I can't. Glad I saved that mask. I think you're probably right though that doing them separately. I'll give it a try. Should try new stuff, you know, broaden your horizons a bit. Okay, that should be an identical stars, but yeah, well, let's close that anyways. And remove the mask. Remove the mask, stars. Okay, so now we're trying a Blur Exterminator. Just go 0 on the Sharpen Stars. And we just want Sharpen Non-Stellar. Yeah, I don't think I like that. I think that's really ugly. Yeah. Yeah, well, what it might be is it might be the automatic PSF function, point spread function. So probably, yeah, probably what's happening is, yeah, maybe I would need to specify the point spread function because automatic PSF, it's probably measuring the stars, and so when the stars aren't in there, it's measuring it from the details in the galaxy. I bet is probably what's happening. So you'd have to figure out a point spread function for that to work without the stars in there, I think. Yeah, so that's the blur X. And then, oh, did I just run that with the mask on there? Oh, I did. I didn't want that. Okay, remove the mask. And then let me do that again. Yet again. Yeah, because galaxies are going to have, yeah, these little fine details that it will think are stars. Yeah. Yeah, versus a nebula, which is floaty, cloudly, gaseous-like structures, which are clearly not stars. I think we figured it out. We got to the bottom of that. Good job, team. High five. Okay, look at my stars image. I think that looks pretty good. Mask, remove mask. Call that S. Put that down here. Mask, remove mask. Now I'm happy with the way that looks. It definitely needs a bit of sharpening. It's definitely improved with the sharpening. Most things are a bit better with some sharpening. Yeah, you can see it, you know, better when you're actually looking at the monitor, right? So, okay, now the denoising. And we played around with the denoising earlier, and pretty inconclusive results on trying to find the best denoising settings. So I just go denoise 0.9 iterations 2. It wasn't really able to find anything that made it look much better. And that looks pretty darn good. There's a lot of little blotches in here. So I could like clone stamp those out. But I think those are, you know, when the stars are in, you won't see them. So I think I'll just leave them. But I like that. And now we will histogram transform. Yeah, are you watching on your phone? Yeah. I do have a little bit of a resolution advantage to you then. Let's see, M101. And I just manually stretch things too. I haven't played around with, you know, those tools like the generalized hyperbolic stretch that people like, and so really just need to make the background a bit darker. Too much. Just something like that. And then maybe I'll adjust the curves a bit. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot to that tool, and I haven't looked at it yet. So, you know, maybe one of these days, right? But I think I can. I don't know if I feel like I can stretch the images manually just by eye, and although that's not always true, because doing it by eye means I really need a dark room because I get reflection on my monitor screen, and that's why I have to like look off to the side, and so it may not look as dark in the background as I want, or you know, something like that. So yeah, I've played with that a little bit too, and I don't know. I need to watch a few tutorials and play with some of these others. But generally, I find I just stretch them manually and get it to the way I like it. So, yeah, this is, gosh, there is a lot of detail in there. Pretty spectacular. Let's work on the core a bit with local histogram equalization to bring that detail up a bit. Yeah, tons of faint detail indeed. Yeah, the having, you know, Bortle 2 skies with nice sharp atmospheric conditions, nice good seeing is it's kind of like cheat codes. Oh, I got some comparison shots to show you guys too. Kind of depressing. This kind of just darkens the core, but it really kind of brings those details in the spiral arms out a bit more. So I usually like to do that. It's looking a little borderline too sharpened, but I think it's not bad when you're zoomed out. So I think I'm okay with it. And yeah, now we'll look at the curves. And what I'll do is I'll just come into the curves and then just push the saturation way up, and just kind of see what the colors are looking like in here. And yeah, it's looking, there's a bit of green. There's definitely some green in there. Oh, cat on the lap. What's up, Mr. Cat? Did you miss me for 2 days, for 2 nights? So there's a bit of green in there. So what I'll do is I'll just run SCNR. And the green's not really obvious when it's not saturated. So that's why I just temporarily push the saturation. So I run SCNR and come back here and then just crank the saturation to look, and I think that's probably a bit better. Actually, it looks like there's maybe still a little bit. Maybe you need to run that after saturating. It's kind of an interesting color gradient there. Mr. Cat. Hello, cat. Silvergrains
just
hello.
With 6 viewers.
Mr. Cat says hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Raiders. You guys are awesome. We have space photos today. How was your stream? What were you guys doing? Were you developing photos? Oh, I think you mentioned you were gonna go camping and maybe shoot another star trail. So I hope to hear about that. My cat missed me because I was gone for 2 nights. Yes, I'm sorry, I was gone. For those of you guys who maybe are new and don't know me, I'm Dave, and I do astrophotography and telescope design. We've been designing and building telescopes on the stream, and just got back this morning from 2 nights of camping up Mount Pinos, where it was very cold. And thank you for the follow, not green bag. And 2 nights of astrophotography and astronomy. and this is one of the images that I shot. This is the Pinwheel Galaxy M101, and I have a picture of my rig. Let me see. This is my this is the rig. This is the telescope. It's a 6-inch f4, 6-inch mirror, 150 millimeter diameter f4 Newtonian style telescope. Today was scanning. Cool. Oh, star shows about light pollution. Yeah, that's a bummer. We were up in the top of Mount Pinos, which is kind of the closest good dark sky site in Southern California to LA. Only a couple hours drive for me, and pretty dark. Not the darkest dark skies, but pretty darn dark up there. Very, very little light pollution. Bit of light down below, lower on the horizon, but not bad at all. So yeah. Yeah, not bad at all. Well, 2 hours in quotes, depending on the traffic. So like yesterday, or no, Monday, yeah, if I left at like 1 p.m., it was 2 hours. But I didn't leave till like 3, so it was like 3 hours. So. Oh, cool, right on. Yeah, we had some marine layer. That's the other thing that's kind of cool about Mount Pinos. It's north of LA and it's in the mountains. So when you have the marine layer conditions where this low cloud layer comes in sometime during the night, forms during the night or in the morning, Mount Pinos is above that, and so that can that cloud layer can block out light pollution from LA. So it's pretty dark up there. Yeah. So that's my scope, and guys, go follow Silver Grains if you're not. Let me go with the shout out situation. Need to be better about doing that. Got it. Cool. Yeah, so you were doing some. Yeah, Silver Grains does film photography, which is very cool. It's good to see that sort of art form kept alive, you know. Yeah. So JB, so this is kind of another thing. So notice I just pushed up the saturation. I'm not gonna actually use this setting, but if I way exaggerate it, so I'm saturating the background, and we don't want to do that. We don't want this. We want to just saturate the core. So we can do a few things. We can mask it, or saturate just colors. But probably what I want to do is a range mask. You could do a luminance mask. Probably what I want is a nice soft range mask. So, and I think, yeah, that's kind of so I'll use range selection and bring the limit up. And so I'm just selecting, there's a little bit of bits of background graininess you can see there as I lower the range selection. So, yeah, I'll just do that, and then I'm going to smooth the heck out of it. Add a little bit of fuzziness. Yeah, so nice big smooth mask, and I'll use that for saturating. And then, yeah, let's just go curves, and I'll bring the saturation up just kind of for all the colors. And I don't know, maybe I want to play with the blue. No, because I don't want it to look, yeah, I don't want the whole thing to look blue. And you got to be careful with this too, because you have the edge of the mask. So, yeah, you want to do kind of gently with this. And I think what I want to do actually is saturate the blue using the saturation tool separately. Oh yeah, yeah. My nose is a little bit sunburned. We got to be better about sunblock when we're out there, dude. You know, we should not be getting sunburn like that. Gardamus, you're late. Well, you're here though. I appreciate you. What's going on? First time chatter? Gardamus, that's a cool name. Gardamus? Gardamus? Yeah, you're a freaking ginger, bro. Like you need to definitely be yeah, you're in Silver's right. Yeah, I recognize Silver's emotes there. Some fun emotes from Okay, so I like this. So I just added some blue saturation, and then I don't need that anymore. So now we'll use the curves tool and look at the now we push the whole saturation together. This way now there's more blue than the rest of it, and I think I don't think I want to go too much. I think I want to try to stick to this sort of, you know, more subtle, naturalistic kind of, but maybe you do just a little bit more. I don't know, maybe that. I think I like that. Collimating the RC. Yeah, definitely. That thing is cool. You were scanning, but in a different way. Oh, pray tell. Pray tell. So, I do have a bit of blotchiness in the background here. And, I don't know if... I mean, I can clone stamp that out. Let's try... let's go for it. What we want to do is save the project. Remember how I never save projects? Let's try not to do that. Let's call this M101. Camera scanning and flat instead of flatbed. Oh, okay. Is that like using a camera to take a picture of a negative or something like that? Save this project. Oh, that was kind of a blunder. Oh well. It'll be fine. It's fine. Yeah, oh cool. Do you do that for a particular reason? Is there advantages to using a camera over a flatbed scanner, or maybe you just don't have a flatbed scanner and you use what tools you have? Yeah, so there's sort of messy blobs that are from the stars. So let's try SETI Astro's Blemish Blaster script. Yes. Cool. Yes, so let's see, So we are basically clone stamping these blobs. I don't know if you can see those very well on the stream. Yeah, got it. Oh, awesome. How are you liking that? They do show up, cool. Yeah, I never really... I think I have no interest myself in film photography, but I appreciate that people do. I guess I shouldn't say I don't have any interest. Yeah, that's not true. I guess I have a marginal amount of interest. Really? Developing yourself more cost efficient, huh? How much, like, investment in materials and stuff do you have? You know, like, does it pay for it after getting all the materials and tools you need to develop your own? Like, does it pay for itself versus sending it to a lab after, you know, what, one roll of film or two or three or something like that? So a lot of these kind of blobs are going to go away because I'm going to darken the background a little bit, but we'll just try to make it smoother if we can. And there could be some... No, that was a bad result. Let's undo. Yeah, some of these are not. This tool kind of has limited usability here. Sometimes these doesn't work very well. Look at these little galaxies. There's like at least four galaxies. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once these stars are put back in there, you know, I don't know that you even really are going to notice these that much at all. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, especially if you're doing it a lot yourself, right? There's another little galaxy in there. Whoops, we duplicated that galaxy. Don't want that. What's up, cat? Yeah, I don't know how much more of this I want to do. Cool, Taka. I need like a home server myself, actually. It's been something that I've kind of needed and I wanted for a long time, and I keep putting it off, and yeah, I just end up spending time and money on telescope stuff instead. Okay, I'm gonna just go with that. Cheapest, yeah. Oh, a month turnaround. So that's what would have motivated me at the time, right? That's what would have motivated me the most. A home lap? Yeah. Yeah, I need a security camera server. We were talking about that last night or the night before. I don't know. I got a cat on the lap again. Hello, Mr. Cat. Hello, Mr. Cat. Wow, don't come on my lap and then get mad that you get kisses and scratches. Yes, that's what you're here for. Cool, man. Have a good time with the in-laws.
What type of dog is this?
No, that's not a dog. That's not a dog. Yeah, I don't think we're not gonna clone stamp anything. That's fine. Yeah, I think we just want to do some curves and darken the background a bit. So let's bring the background down. Why am I not? That's weird. Curves. Yeah, hello. Well, why can I not click on here? That's a new one. Oh man, what happened to my reset? That's weird. For some reason, edit point mode. I can't, my curve tool is not working. I can't click on the curve. Select point mode. Delete point. Yeah, there's no points. Zoom in, zoom out. Edit point mode. Did I hit a... Ah! What happened? That's weird. Uh-oh. I must have hit a button. I must have hit a keyboard shortcut or something because I can't add points on these. Shoot. I'm gonna have to ponder that while I use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right. Why can't I click on? Chat? Did we figure out why I can't click the? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Is it just gonna work now? Okay. It just had to. It just had to go to the bathroom and come back, and it unfucked itself. Okay. Cool. Okay. Sometimes don't ask why. Just. Yeah. Just. Yeah. So we're gonna darken the background. More contrast. Maybe not quite that dark. But we just kind of want just like the darkest dark here. And then... yeah, maybe, honestly... That's actually probably pretty okay. Maybe not quite that dark. Yeah, I think that kind of maintains this faint bits of spiral arm out here. Darkens the whole background pretty nicely. I have kind of this sort of ugly purplish blemish. I think it might be from a star, so we might clone stamp that out. But I'll add the stars back in before I make a judgment on that. So we'll use SETI Astros. Oh, did we blur exterminate the stars? We did. Yeah. So we'll use SETI Astros star stretch tool. And I usually stretch the stars a little bit less, 4.5. And I will remove the green because there's a bit of green in there, SCNR on it. And there we go. And then I'm going to rename this to, or actually no, we'll just need to add the name M101 and then to my pixel math. And now we have stars. I think I like that. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty natural. There's kind of a bit of a light, the background in this corner is a little ugly, and I should clone stamp that out. There's like I thought that was maybe a diffraction spike. It's kind of a weird flare there. It's kind of a stacking artifact or something. Yeah, kind of weird. So yeah, I think I'll remove the stars and undo the stars, and yeah, let me clone stamp that out. We can make this look quite a bit better. Do 70, and we go 100% on the softness. Drop the opacity down a little bit. Zoom in here. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. This whole corner is kind of a mess, and just kind of. Yeah, kind of a. There we go. I think that's okay. I think that's not too bad looking. Yeah, okay. Check that. And then put the stars back in. And yeah. Yeah, so this blemish here. All right, let's undo the stars. And yeah, let's clone stamp that out. So I think that'll look better too if I get rid of that. Just kind of break that up a bit. And this one too. Maybe this area, we can clean this up a little bit. Put the stars back in. Yeah, that was much better. Removing that bit of purple around there. There's this little chunk going on over here. Is this like a piece of galaxy that broke off and is flying away or something like that from the main galaxy? That's, I wonder. They need an astronomer in here. Where is an astronomer when you need one? Damn it. I think that's pretty great. I think I'm pretty happy with that image. I really look forward to adding HA to it, and so all these, you see hints of it in here, but they'll be, you know, much more defined. You know, in the final thing. Yeah, I think we're done with that. I'm gonna save this. I don't need that anymore. Yes. And I now have several M101 images, and this is definitely going to be the best one. I look forward to comparing them in a few seconds. M101 and 101 DBS 150. And this was 5 hours and 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna call it 4:30. Yeah, 4:30, that was today. Save, save, save. Delete 90. All right, that's fine. I don't care that it's super compressed, whatever. Let's take a look at my various M101 pictures. Okay, so this is M101 shot with my Orion 8-inch f4 astrograph, my Canon 7D Mark II, back in 2016. June 6, 2016, I shot this. This was, I'm pretty sure, from Grand View Campground, dark sky, the darkest of dark skies, around here at least. And reprocessed recently with modern tools, Blur Exterminator, Star Exterminator. It's okay. Much wider field of view on that scope and larger camera sensor. And then I did an annotated version because those are fun. And there's what we just shot, just processed. Much better detail on the galaxy than this one. Different colors. That's partially just because of the processing. If I did the same processing, could probably get it to look the same. And that's M101 with the GSO 6-inch from home. This is from the Bortle. This is 4 hours 4 minutes from Bortle 9. Okay, and this is 5 hours from Bortle 2. So, you know, yeah, you can see the difference there. Pretty bright. I'm pretty shocked at how much detail I was able to get from, you know, from the light pollution. Honestly, pretty remarkable what you can get. But you know, these arms are, you know, much less defined than this one, right? So, and these other faint, there's like 3 fingers coming out down here. I don't think there's any chance of those showing up in this image. Well, maybe a little bit. It's hard to tell. They're rotated a bit. They're rotated like 90 degrees. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I think that looks great. I'm really happy. Yeah, that looks really great. So, project for the next chance I get will be to shoot this from home with the dual narrowband filter. and subtract the red channel to get the HA signal, and then calibrate that in there. Cat's on the lap again, by the way. Mr. Cat. Okay, M101 done. Let's get it out of here. And let's look at Bode's Galaxy. M81, M82. This one, pretty spectacular as well. We'll process it pretty much the same way. I think this is a great field of view for these two. I mean, look at these two galaxies kind of perfectly fill this field of view on this telescope. Much more challenging night. Shot this last night. And it was good to start, and there was wind. Then it got good again for a while. Then there was wind, and that kind of sucked. But you can see I still was able to get some nice data, and there's like hints of like a lot of detail in this intricate HA structure in the Cigar Galaxy here. So that'll be fun to bring out that more, and good detail in the arms in Bode's Galaxy here too. So let's see. Start with Graxpert to remove the background gradient. And I was really hoping to bring out the IFN in this region. And I mean, there's, like maybe a little bit of it. It's kind of just not in there in the data. So I need more time. This target is, I think, kind of rapidly getting away from us. So hopefully next month I'll be able to get some more time on it. But I mean, it's still it's still really great, right? So let's color calibrate it now. Spectrophotometric color calibration. Grab a preview. And now we can auto stretch it, and the colors should look right. They do indeed look right. Yeah, that looks pretty great. Let's run Blur Exterminator, and Sharpen Non-Stellar 0.6 worked nice on that other image. We'll do the same here. Looks pretty great once it's been sharpened. Yeah, this HA stuff is like, man, it's almost... There's a really cool signal in there, and there'll be some really great detail. Hopefully I can get some of that from home here. There's some teeny tiny little stars over here. Kind of interesting. Now this is another one that's going to be tricky. Yeah, Star Exterminator is going to want to just pull all these little bits of HA out of here. So that's going to be kind of tricky. Let's just see what it does first. What's up, cat? What do you think? Do you like sitting on my leg? I'm gonna put my cat. Yeah, I think it probably removed a lot of stuff that I didn't want it to. Well, maybe not. Actually, it might be okay. Yeah, no, I think that one actually did a pretty good job. I think we'll just go with it. Yeah, scratch a cat. Star Exterminator good. Now it's time for Noise Exterminator. You know, just doing like 0.9. What's up, cat? I haven't figured out a way to turn the camera to have it not do that auto standby thing. There's not a setting for it. Or actually there is. It maxes at 5 minutes. You can't turn it off. You know, well, whatever. Here's what it is. Yeah, that looks good. That looks great. Gosh, there's so much cool detail in the cigar galaxy here. It's pretty faint. I really need the HA data. But yeah, not really. I don't think any of the IFN. There's a lot of IFN in this region, but I think right on top of these galaxies, it's not actually that much. So maybe there just really isn't much in that region to get anyways. Darken the background here. Too much. Probably about like that. A lot of blotches from stars. We might clone stamp all those out. Yes, so pet the cat. Scratch your chinny chinny. Poor Mr. Cat gets kind of starved for attention when I'm not here for a couple days. And then she needs scratches when I come back. Yes. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at detail in these cores. So a little tricky. I don't. Might want to process them separately. They might want different. Yeah, they might want different processing. But let's see what we can do here. We'll start with. I'm going to start with like a really big, broad selection. And we'll local histogram equalize that. That really starts to bring out a lot of detail in there, but we don't want too much. A bit much. It's always a bit much. Go kind of easy on it. Although, I don't know. Do we want... Yeah. No, it's just too much. That kind of... Yeah, I gotta be gentle with that. A bit more. I also have laundry. Don't let me forget I gotta do my laundry today, chat. Which I just gotta get up and put it in the dryer. So that's my cat. Okay, good with that one. Now we'll do another mask that is kind of just the cores. do this in two kind of stages here. Turn that up a bit more. Yeah, sort of makes all the detail kind of jump out in there and all the detail in here. There's kind of a crazy amount of detail. A good pixel scale, a good field of view, focal length for these targets. That's my cat. Okay, so now coloring in here gonna be also tricky. I think I want to like clone stamp out all these blemishes. So let's save the project. We'll save this as M81, M82. Take a second to save it, and I've got like these other images that we worked on embedded in this save file, so you know, not ideal, but whatever, we'll just deal with it. Okie dokie. All right, saved. Close that. Close that. We will go SETI Astro's Blemish Blaster script. And let's see. Zoom out. So we'll yeah, some of these are gonna work better than others. No, cat, you don't go up there. You don't go up there. That's not for cats. I don't think I can blemish blast that one because I'll remove that whole galaxy, so. No, don't go up there, cat. No, cat. All right, you can sit like that. You want to use the keyboard? You want to drive? That's all right. That's a good spot. Just go around here and blemish blast these. Yeah, some of those are going to require manual clone stamping to clean up. Yeah, see, that made another galaxy, so we can't do that. Like two blotchy star spots here. It kind of in the way of the keyboard there, Cat. Yeah, some of these need manual clone stamping. Probably need a better filter. Some of this, I wonder if some of this actually is like a little bit of IFN in there. Might be. Alright, so let's just get out the clone stamp tool and we'll just go through. Clone stamping like a maniac. Undo all that. I don't like any of that. There's a bright star there. I'll leave that little spot. Honestly, I think clone stamping kind of works better than Blemish Blaster. It's pretty quick to just kind of click these away. Gonna live with that one. Oh god, that no cat. You can't put your face on the computer, on the keyboard. I'm sorry. No, Cat, you can't go up there. Sorry, you can't go up there. I need a keyboard for using computers. No, you can't go up there. Kind of tricky, like some of this stuff, yeah, probably should not be clone stamped out. Maybe that is IFN there. Probably is. I might have clone stamped out a little bit of it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of in love with how the Cigar Galaxy is looking here. There's just so much detail in here. That's pretty phenomenal. And this was only about, I think it ended up being around 3 hours of integration time, right? So maybe I can clean this one up. Okay, colors and stuff next. Tricky, probably to color this. Let's try the same trick I did on the last one and just try to saturate the blue. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of blue in this image, but we'll add whatever we can. Yeah, there kind of isn't a whole lot of blue in there. It's just mostly yellow. Which, you know, I guess if that's what it is, that's what it is. I can look at the curves and see what the saturation, that puts the saturation for the whole thing up. Yeah, it's just kind of mostly yellow in there, isn't it? There's definitely some green. And I don't like the green. So let me run SCNR on it. And go back to the curves and look at the saturation now. Much better. And gosh, there's so much color in the cigar galaxy here. That's kind of blowing me away. I did not expect to see kind of that much. That's pretty great. And the cat's off the lap. So yeah, okay, but we don't want to push saturation into the background like that. Shoot, this is a bit tricky because I'm not sure if, let's see, I'm not sure if a range mask is really going to do me good here. Yeah, I've got a bit of a light glow in the bottom right corner. You can't really see if I move over here. Yeah, there's like a bluish. Yeah, this is grossly exaggerated. Oh shoot. Oh, damn it. Okay, here's a new one. Crap, I pushed the real-time preview window. Oh shit, how can I not, how do I pushed the real-time preview window, like the title bar off the page, and now I can't grab it. Oh god, I didn't want to do that. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Okay, don't do that. Shit, how do I get the... There we go. Okay. Right click and fit preview. Let's see. Let's try extract a luminance channel. And then curves on the luminance channel. I'm trying to make a mask that includes... So what I kind of want to do is blow up the bright areas. There is IFN in there. When I blow this way up, it starts to come out. It's in there. And I kind of want to make this like super crushed mask. Because like that's what I want to saturate. So This might be really ugly. Let's see what that does. Now we'll do curves on that. Whoops. Curves, real-time preview. And no, I think that's good, yeah. I think that's kind of perfect. Yeah, there's just a bit of IFN in there. And so how I'm going to like... Yeah, there might be some other processing tricks that I need to learn to play with in order to get that to kind of come out. But boy, I'm just kind of thrilled with how the cigar galaxy looks. There's so much stuff there going on. That's pretty great. Let's remove the mask. And back to the real-time preview, and then let's go ahead and work on the contrast a bit darker in the background a bit, keep the midtones where they are. Yeah, maybe that amount. Yeah, God, there is a little bit. Man, I just need more data on this. Just need more time. Come on, thing, stop going to sleep. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a hint of IFN in there. I think I'm gonna have to look up some other images and see if that's, you know, what I'm actually seeing. Okay, so we will use Steady Astro's Star Stretch script. 4.5. Usually what I do, remove the green, execute. And combine stars, all this M81, M82. The stars back in there, and there we go. Yeah, there's like just a bit of it. With the stars in there, it's kind of not obvious. Yeah, I mean, Bode's kind of is more dominant, you know, in the image there, right? This big galaxy, but the cigar is just like, there's cool colors, and yeah, there's very interesting stuff going on in here. Yeah, especially considering how crappy the conditions were for a lot of the night last night. I'm pretty thrilled to get that level of image out of it. Yeah, and out of basically it's a homemade telescope, and one that you can download and design and print. Well, not yet. I haven't put it up online yet, but maybe we'll work on that. Maybe we'll focus on that like tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a stream tomorrow working on the CAD. It's a bit of work I think I need to do on the CAD to clean it up, get it ready to go. But and I have a YouTube video to accompany with it that I want to get going. So, you know, there's that too. So we'll have that to look forward to. Yeah, dudes, that's pretty sweet, man. I'm pretty stoked on that. That's yeah, let's. So 3 images. Beehive cluster. Just an hour of exposure time. Nice looking diffraction spikes. Pinwheel galaxy. pretty darn nice. 5 hours, 20 minutes on that. And then Bode's M81, M82. This one is probably the best one, I think, probably from the weekend. Or from the... It was sort of like a weekend. From the 2 nights that we were out there. This one very clean. Background very clean on here. It's a bit brighter on the background too. I didn't quite crush the background as much on this one. Here, background's kind of crushed. Maybe the background's kind of crushed a bit much on here. We can play with that a bit. There's not really a right or wrong answer. I've already saved it out. I'll stick with what I have. Pinwheel Galaxy. Pretty nice. But yeah, this one's definitely the most spectacular. Interesting how sort of yellow, orange, and there's just not a lot of blue in there. It is there. I guess that's just how it is. We'll look up some other reference images. And the, yeah, and this one too, I can calibrate HA data in that I can shoot from here. If we can get some clear skies here, which at least the next 3 nights are looking really bad. So that'll give me time to work on some other things. So getting the CAD up online for you guys if you want to download and start working on a 6-inch scope of your own. But yeah, maybe this one I should go to the curves, and maybe this one I should really brighten up the that background more. Yeah, maybe I like that a little bit better. Maybe not quite that much. Whoops. Ah. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, maybe I like that a bit better. A little bit in there. It's kind of just personal preference, I think, at that point, right? Let's just save it. Let's see. So I've got kind of several other images of that. None of them are very good. M81, M82, DBS150, and I think it was like 3 hours, 30 minutes, something like that, and 4:30, 25. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Astro Bin. Did I have another window open? No, I didn't. Back to Astro Bin. And, atmospheric. Astro Bin. And let's search for M81. So we're looking for like a reference image that has a lot of IFN around it. And yeah, so this one Yeah, okay. So probably should have looked at this reference image before. Can I not use their stupid... There we go, yeah. Yeah, so he's got a lot blue. He definitely got a lot of HA in there. So you can see there's, yeah, IFN. Yeah, so that's definitely some IFN we're seeing there. Super faint in mine, though. I just really don't have enough data. Yeah, this is sort of like hook that comes around here. So it's in there. Yeah, so I wonder how much exposure time. And then the IFN that we see around the cigar is probably just not... Maybe I just need to... You can see his background here isn't very dark at all. Maybe I just need to make the background not nearly as dark. Total... So this is 31 hours of exposure. Okay, so I've got like 3 hours, right? Yeah. I probably should not have closed that star image. That was a subtracted stars. That was probably a blunder, wasn't it? Well, we can... I already saved a JPEG out. Let me make a clone of it, so I have a clone. And let me go... Kind of gotta almost completely start over. M81, M82. Yeah, I need to go back to blur exterminator step. And we'll star exterminate. Well, I think, I mean, okay, I think at this, I think you would see the IFN here if it was, yeah, if it was more clear. I was thinking that maybe I crushed it in the stretch, but I guess it's worth taking another. Yeah, it's just not in the data there, right? If I super expand stretch it, yeah, it's not there. Just needs more integration time. Just gonna have to go back out to the desert. Oh darn. Oh darn. I'm pretty thrilled. I'm with that. Honestly, this is so cool. This is like, the cigar here is just like, you know, only like 3 hours of data too. That's pretty great. Let's take a look at my previous attempts at this image. A lot of these were shot from home. So this is same target, M81, M82, but this was with the DBS 114, so the 114 millimeter scope, smaller scope, and shorter focal length, and light pollution from home. This was shot with a dual narrowband filter. I think I was kind of just, well, personally just trying to get the HA signal, and you can see how bright the HA kind of is there. 3 hours and 10 minutes of exposure time. Shot this a little over a month ago, almost 2 months ago. Then same thing, added in up to 3 hours and 40 minutes. Having trouble with field rotation, getting it lined up. So this has some weird stacking artifacts, but more detail starting to come out of there. And then this one, 5 hours, also with the 114. And yeah, this one has some I was struggling with dust modes, so there's some dust mode artifacts in there. I mean, for the light pollution, this is actually a fairly decent, yeah, there's a fairly decent amount of data in there. Then 7 hours, this is like HA data with a dual narrowband filter, so HA O3 kind of data, hydrogen oxygen signal. And then we got that one. Oh no, we just did. Oh, and then let's see. Okay, so here's HARGB. So this was, I combined the HA data from the with the RGB data, and so this is not quite right, but this was kind of the a first test at doing that that workflow, that process. And then this is one I shot years ago. This was like 2015 maybe. Wider field. Yeah, not very good resolution, not very sharp, weird star spikes. It was shot with a camera lens, and processed this a couple of times, and bits of faint hints of IFN in here, but definitely not like that one that was 10 hours or whatever. 30 hours was it? Star Traveler, what's up, brother? Thanks, man. Yeah, so this is my old, that was like from 2015, M81, M82, and that's what we got last night. So not freaking bad. Man, I really want more data on it now. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. I'm mostly thrilled with the amount of detail seen in the cigar galaxy here. Dropped it. Yeah, pretty great, huh? That is pretty great. It is, yeah. That's the new 150 millimeter, 6-incher. Had challenging conditions. Last night it started out pretty good, and for maybe like a half an hour, and then it got windy, and the mount, especially with this new scope, just can't handle really any wind at all. When it's calm, it was guiding really great. The guiding was pretty phenomenal, like 0.5 to 0.8 arc seconds error, like very smooth. But the slightest breeze, it's not really the mount, it's the wedge and the tripod peer extension. I need to make a better wedge. I'm kind of motivated to do that now, because the scope I think works pretty darn good, and the mount's working good. It's just it needs to be very rigid to be able to handle the mass and the size and bulk of a telescope like that, which I knew. I knew that. That's not really a surprise. So, just always something else, always something to work on, always something to improve. That's how it goes. But I'm pleased with what I got. Considering. If you're just joining us, got that last night. Oh, and then the wind came back at like 2 a.m, and then it was really bad. It was nothing. It couldn't get anything after that. So, the night before, I shot the Beehive cluster. This was kind of to evaluate the star shapes and the diffraction patterns. It's not perfect, needs a little bit of work, but I can generally live with it. Clearly it can produce really nice images. So it could be better, and I'll continue to try to make it better. So, starting tonight through Saturday, you have clear skies. Well, go get it, because we don't. So, yeah. Oh, you're going to do the lagoon. That'll probably be pretty low on the horizon. Go for it if you can get it. Looking forward to seeing what you get. That'd be like 2 a.m, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of beautiful color and detail in the lagoon. And then we shot the Pinwheel, M101, Pinwheel Galaxy. This one worked really well. The first night we were up there was like perfect all night long. So this is 2-minute exposures, and it was very consistent. Pretty pleased with this image too. But the star of the show, I think, really, the M81 and M82 is just kind of the most spectacular. Yeah. So, yeah, good times, man. Okay, I am, I got those processed. I am sleepy, and I got to do some stuff, so I think I'm going to bounce off. Thanks, guys, for being here. You guys are the best. I'll share these in the Discord. And there was a lot of chatter in the Discord, too, which is great. And I got to probably catch up a bit on that. So, yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, several projects now. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's you know, skills, yeah, but it's kind of just a matter of, I don't know, just doing your homework and putting in the time, putting in the effort, I guess, you know. I mean, skills and background knowledge, of course, obviously play a big role, but yeah, it's fun to work on. So, you know, if it's fun to work on, you kind of enjoy the process, then that's a big part of it too. So, yep. All right. So I'm going to bounce off. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm not sure when I'll be on next. Maybe again this week sometime. Maybe tomorrow afternoon or Friday. Yeah. All right. Peace out.